Let it Let it
Good evening, detoxers. How are we doing this evening? Let me look at these comments. 38 of y'all waiting for me to get in here. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. Welcome, welcome, welcome. All right, let's get to our business at hand while everyone's coming in. We're only up to 42, but I know for us at the Apostles' House, we're just getting out of Bible study. So I literally just flew my car on 4 wheels. I flew from one location to the next and jumped in here, skidding in at the speed of sound. Is it a bird? Is it a plane? Hello, good people. How are you tonight? Welcome to So Detox 2022. We are currently in day 10. Hallelujah. Good to see you all. I want to remind you that all of our teachings can be found on YouTube 24 hours a day, 7 days a week until YouTube no longer exists. And they'll just probably be called the Metaverse, Metaplanet, or something else like that. We are also on all of your favorite podcast stations. That would be including something but not limited to Spotify, Google Podcasts, Apple iTunes, Audible for Audible books, Amazon actually has a podcast. I didn't know about that. And so many others. Check us out. Give us a review. We would appreciate a 5, and we will give you a shout out for your review. I want to thank the young lady today. See if I can find her name rather quickly so we can jump into our work tonight. I want to thank the young lady who she subscribed today. Let's see how I can find out subscriptions from my phone. I know I know how to find them from the desktop, but I can't find them from here. All right, I can't find it on here, but I will get the information so that I can thank the wonderful woman who subscribed to our channel today. And I want to thank those who, as the church would say, thought it not robbery to sow and to give. I want to thank God for you as well, because that's who I thank. And by means of that, I want to thank, where is it? I saw Crystal's helping me out here. There we go. With Ebony's helping me out here. I want to thank Brittany for her Cash App donation, Elitza for hers, and Chevelle, thank you. Anna for her everyday support this far. Thank you very much. She gives that same amount every day, and I bless you for it. Thank you. I want to thank Ashley for her blessing as well. And I want to thank Diane Washington. Thank you very much, Diane Washington, for your seed sowing into your best life now. Welcome, good people. Are you ready to rumble? How you doing? Man, I am so charged up. I am so charged up. Do you know why? I had the most inspiring, grateful, self-aware client sessions today than I've had in a long time. They are so motivated, and the level of awakening and the level of awareness that they are experiencing due to these 30 days, and we're only in day 10. Just one client in particular, I told her I was going to talk about her tonight, of course, leaving her nameless, but her affect, her whole affect was completely different than any sessions we've had this far. We've been doing some really soul digging work, and she just has a whole different affect. She's like, where have we been as people? Where have we been that haven't been paying attention to ourselves? Like, it's amazing. The personality assessment, I'm going to say to you what I said to her tonight. So you met yourself. I like her very much, or I like him very much. Now that you met yourself on paper, how do you like you? And she was like, I like myself a lot. And even with the weaknesses that I have to work with, I know what I have to work with now. So I'm not showing up unaware or unsure, or people can tell me things about myself, or people can tell me things that need to change when they really are a part of my personality, but maybe I can work on how I show up for you. For example, there was, we were talking about the introvert side of her personality that showed up. And she said that along with my diagnosis, her personality profile, she's a logistician. And she named the other well-known people that we might recognize that are logisticians. And she mentioned that she needs order, and how she sometimes in the workplace has been told for years she's very good at what she does. She got her promotions, and, you know, she has a reputation and all that. But she was also told that she can be perceived as hard, as very hard. And she said, you know, it always made me feel bad, to the point I started defending when people would say that I'm too hard. And now I realize I don't have to defend it. It's my personality type. But what I do have to do is understand that not everyone is a logistician. Not everyone is an introvert. Not everyone has this business-like, orderly-like fashion to work in. So I have to be mindful how I show up for the adventurer, or the advocate, or the defender. I have to be careful and mindful, not careful so much, but I have to be mindful how I show up for other people, because part of being self-aware is not just being internally aware, it's also being externally aware. So it is important to know this is how I can be perceived by people, and so that I don't feel as if I'm wrong, and they don't feel as if I'm wrong, or they don't feel as if I'm this hard, bad person to work with. We discussed today how she can show up in the workplace because she's important in her job as far as training new employees or people that are getting promotions. So we discussed today techniques, solutions, ways to get her to understand that she doesn't have to change, but she needs to introduce herself to people in a very, very professional way, in the professional climate, such as, hi, I've been known, I'm driven by order, you know, going through the business spiel first for her company. And then I'm driven by order, and I work well in a very ordered and disciplined environment. However, with that, the company benefits greatly, but I've been told that I can come across on the other side to people as hard or harsh. And I don't want you to have that experience of me. So when I'm operating and functioning in my job, and that part of my personality shows up, and if I've offended you or been too harsh on you, I give you permission to come to me and tell me that. Or to know that my door is always open for you. But I want you to be aware that I am aware of how I show up, and that's not how I am, but that's how it can be seen by other personality types, without saying that part. Do you get what I'm saying? So there's a way to explain our weaknesses to people so that they don't have to feel as though they can't work with our type, or now that I know how I am, I've got a pass to be rude, and I've got a pass to expect everybody to move out of the way because I've got proof now that this is just how I am. Self-awareness is being internally aware and externally aware. Aware of your thought patterns, your behavioral patterns, your emotional patterns, and aware of how you show up to other people. Amen. So this should help us to work better as human beings. So I'm just so pumped up today. There was that's one client. The other client today, she was just over the moon because she had been dealing with attacks, and she had thought for a while that they were spiritual. And she was like, am I possessed? I mean, what is going on? Just everything that you can think of negative for yourself, because that's where we go, right? We get a headache. Oh my God, I got a brain tumor. We have anxiety in our chest. Oh my God, I'm having a heart attack. That's where we go, right? When we're not self-aware. So we talked, and we ended up bringing her into a great level of healing and deliverance. Do you know how? I didn't lay hands on her and scream demons out. She didn't fall on the floor, foam up, and twist up. I educated her on her human side. I introduced her to the psychological portion that she is and the experience that she's having as a psychological human being. And I explained to her how she was dealing with anxiety. And because the mind is given instructions and directions, either by your eyes or your ears and senses and all that your mind is forming these images, because I did the checklist work to determine that there wasn't any governing spiritual demonic darkness authority attacking her. And when I took the time to explain it to her, she couldn't believe it. And at first she didn't. She admitted that to me. And then after, it began to connect the dots, and she started seeing over time what was going on. And she realized that her trigger was loneliness, and not just loneliness, that deep pitted, isolated, feeling alone and abandoned and rejected type of loneliness. And she realized that that was her trigger. So what happens is when she begins to feel that way, remember, metacognition, think about what you're thinking about. How does the soul operate? When you're feeling something emotionally, it says hello to a certain belief that you have. I'm alone, I'm rejected, I'm abandoned, nobody loves me type of situation. It begins to tell you what kind of thoughts you're going to have, and then it manifests a behavior. But what it also manifests, that we're not going to have time to go into in this teaching, so I'm just going to give you this little free portion, is that it manifests in your mind, where your mind can create images of people that doesn't exist to help feel the loneliness. And she was like, this just makes too much sense. It has to be a demon, because this just makes too much sense. It cannot be this way. So we went into that work. I educated her, let her know more of the human side of her. She's very spiritually awake. She's very spiritually aware. And then she came back to me and she said, oh my God, I haven't seen an image again. Literally, when I was talking to her, she said she felt something on her back at that literal moment. And she said it all has been expelled from her life, as if demons and witches and spirits just took off. And the whole time it wasn't spiritual. It was her mind feeding information and sending projected images from what she was feeling on the inside. It's so much deeper than that. Maybe one night on a Friday night or something, we'll have a pajama night and we'll take the time and I'll detox you on this portion. But your mind can fool you, and your mind wants to preserve you and protect you. So your mind will create these fantasies or these images, and they're very real to the individual. So telling them this doesn't exist and they're crazy doesn't help them. What helps them is helping them to unpack that person, find characteristics of this person from someone who tormented them, perhaps. Characteristics of this person, this image, this fantasy ghost, phantom ghosts that may come from someone who hurt them or rejected them, someone they feared, certain things like that, create these people, these images in our mind that we believe truly are manifested outside of us internally. They have now left our mind and they now have body and position and purpose in our natural life. The power of the mind. And it's absolutely true. And she said, ever since then, it's gone. And now she's able to connect the dots back with this old decrepit image that she used to feel was following her around. Gone. No blessed oil. Didn't lay hands. Didn't shout, scream, spit. She didn't have to give me a courtesy fall, ball up and hiss or anything. And not that I don't believe in any of that, because I do. But I was able to know the difference in which was spiritual and which was psychological. She's set free. Isn't God good? Isn't God good? Where has the church been with mental health all this time? Maybe this is why some people can't get free when they go for deliverance and healing, because not everything is a demon. Well, I'll probably get some mail on that, but I could care less. Because you know what I came to terms with? Thank you, Devon. Love you, brother. You know what I came to terms with today? If I'm only an apostle to the apostle's house, I've done my job. If they are the only people that will hear me or believe in Detox or trust me as being a mental health coach. I mean, after all, what is a mental health coach? Is this just another position that's made up? Is it just something that's influxing the world like the bishopric has all of a sudden? Is this something that's just like new age and it's going to fade out after a while? Well, you know, what is it? No, they've been around for a very long time. And elders are coaches. They're helping people through life. We just have a different name in the church world than we do in the business marketplace world. You know, why do I listen to her when I could have a therapist or a counselor or a doctor? I've met people who have licenses up the yin yang and they do not have the gift or the calling. And then I've met people who have the gift and the calling that don't have a license. So you sit with someone for years who has the title, who has the paperwork, but you could tell they're not called to the position. So what do we do with that? You want to know what I do with that? Three things. I'm going to give you this one again. I realize that if I can only help those at the apostle's house, I've done my job. I realize number two, if I can only help those viewers that sign in to Detox, I've done my job, because it's not my job to go any further than using the evangelistic tools available to me to preach this gospel, to bring this broadcast so that people can be healed, set free, and delivered. It doesn't matter who tries to copy me. It doesn't matter who would rather use another place than a place that's Christian right into their own connection. That's not my job. I can't be hung up on worrying about who will not see that God is using me to do this work for whatever reasons they have. And then those powerful sessions today, I'm good. I am good. Let me read to you what confirmed this for me today. Can I indulge you for a moment? Can I indulge you for a moment? Listen to my personality. When I have people that say, thank you, Carlin, and thank you, Shakira. Carlin Hicks, I don't know if y'all can see her name up there. We grew up since we were kids on Palm Street in Hartford. And Carlin is as much of a sister to me as my blood sisters. That's how close our families were. Y'all know how families were back in the days. We'd go in each other's houses and eat, and nobody would bring one popsicle out. We would take the whole box outside, and the whole block would get it, and we'd get in trouble for it. You know, we went to the candy store. Whoever had access to the water hose that day, the whole block was in the water hose. And, you know, we was just one big family in that area. And they're literally like sisters to me. Her sister was my son's babysitter. Like, Carlin knows me. And I just wanted to post what she posted up there. I firmly believe that you have the calling. You have to have the calling. So listen to this, y'all. This is amazing. This is what really set me free. Because when people who went for degrees and all that extra stuff, okay, I have in years what they have in years. I just didn't put it into the higher education systems of the world as they chose to. Good job for them if that's what they wanted to do. Good job for me because that's what I wanted to do. I don't feel that I'm lacking. And I'm talking to those right now who have a point in their life where they feel like they've missed it. Or maybe they feel like they're not where they should be. I want to minister to your soul for a minute. Thank you, Latrice. I want to minister to your soul for a minute because take the time to get to know who you are and what your purpose is, because people can talk you out of your purpose and calling, and people can also talk you into levels and anointings that don't belong to you. I believe with the 102 people on here tonight, God has called me to this seat in this position to help people. I don't believe that I have to get on here and ask for money. I don't believe that I have to put up my Cash App the whole time I'm on here hoping people will send me money. I believe that I am truly walking in the footstep that God has designed for me to walk in for whatever time he has this on my life. Listen to my personality assessment. This was it for me. So for all these people that say, you don't want to go and finish your degree and get your doctorate, I don't really need to at this time of my life. 1, because I don't want to. 2, why do I need the debt? 3, I'm truly, truly in front of the Holy Spirit of God. I am truly doing what I feel I'm called to do at the level that I'm called to do it at. And I have so much passion and connection to what I do that I could do this all day and all night and probably try to drink energy drinks to keep me going so I can do it. And it's not for the pay. I'm talking about calling and purpose and passion. When I read my assessment, because I'm reading it in blocks, and every day I'm reading it because I want to be able to talk about me correctly with complete understanding in my words, my layman's language, and not so much the assessment. Listen to those who feel like you missed it, feel like you're too old to go back to school. You're never too old to go back to school. That's not for me. I am busy. My calendar is full. If I'm not working in the church as a full-time pastor where God has called me to, I am preaching and ministering in different states in this country called America. I've been outside of this country called America on preaching engagements. I'm a wife and a mother and a grandmother. My plate's full. Now I'm coaching and counseling through pastoral care. I don't see why I have to go back to do something that I don't feel I want to do or that God is leading me to do because other people think I need to do it or I need to prove to other people that I have it. I just don't feel it. And every once in a while, somebody will come up and say, you don't want to go get your doctorate? Well, yeah, I would love to, but I just don't feel the connection to it. I don't feel the need. I mean, my calendar is full. I'm lacking nothing by not having that piece of paper. Now, you may have that call from God and you need to do it. Please don't let me talk you out of that. But hear me on mine. Listen to my personality. The adventurer has a particular mindset. This mindset can hold them back from many of their ideal careers, such as psychology, counseling, and teaching, which requires long-term planning and often extensive certifications to get started. It takes a great deal of energy for adventurers to maintain focus on a single goal like that for so long. But it can make the day-to-day so much more rewarding for the rest of their lives. Options on the table. Listen. An easier route revolves around freelance. My personality is a freelance personality. And consulting work, what I do as a coach. An easier route revolves around freelance and consulting work in just about any industry that adventurers enjoy, where my personality fits in, where I wake up excited to go and do it and be alive again. Whether organizing charity events, working with hospitals to make patients stay more pleasant, or laying stone to help make a house a home, adventurers always seem to find a way to make the world a little more beautiful and exciting, and to make a living in the process. I am who I am. I am who he's called me to be. Spot on, Ebony. It's spot on. It says our mindset can hold us back from being psychologists, counselors, or teachers. So what often happens with this type of personality, they end up going for certifications and certificates and doing this work to make the world a little more beautiful and exciting, and to make a living in the process. What more do I have to say? I am that he has called me to be. Can you embrace your freedom in that? Maybe there's something you're desiring that's really not what he has for you. Come on, Val. That's really not what he has for you. But you feel you have to do it because the world did it, or let's deal with beliefs, or it's a belief inside of you that I'm not great without this. Everyone else has this. I'm the only one that didn't get this. Maybe your personality type would prevent you from getting that. But it doesn't make me any lesser because I'm actually walking in my commission. I'm in my lane and not trying to be in somebody else's lane so that I can look a certain way. This is not for all of you, but it's for a few of us. I watched a while ago, and I remember I shared this on, I think, the last 2 soul detoxes. And I'll never forget, you know, Benny Hinn, he is great in what he does, in his calling, in his lane. I'm sure he receives prosperity beyond what we can think or imagine because of the call that's on his life. People will give materially for spiritual benefits. That's biblical. They're supposed to. But in his greatness, he had George Bloomer on his show. And George Bloomer, who's a deliverance minister, was explaining to Benny Hinn, who's a physical healer, that God had called him to do some certain work. And Benny Hinn was not talking him out of it, but he was challenging him and questioning him to, if you didn't listen with understanding, you would think that he was coming against what George Bloomer was sharing God had called him to do. And this has stuck with me since the second it came out of George Bloomer's mouth, who I don't even follow. So I know God wanted me to see it, and it sticks with me to this very day. He said to Benny Hinn, stop, because it feels as though you're trying to talk me out of my calling. And I have got to do what God has told me to do if nobody else understands it. I'm not less than. I'm not even other than. You're not even going to put me in the other box because I'm not doing the world system the way maybe God has called you to do it. I got a little pass. I don't have to do the years and the finances. That's not what I have to do. You have to do it. Thank God for you. But I don't have to do it. And it doesn't make me less, and it doesn't make me other. It makes me I am, that he has called me to be what he has called me to be. And it just gave me a greater level of confirmation and validation from my Lord that I don't need anything else to do what he has called me to do. You all have showed that to me. You all have encouraged me. My personality, we're going to go into it more on our personality profile night, but it even said that if I'm not careful, because we have to always be on an adventure, that when adventure or change, I have to always have change. If adventure or change isn't happening, it affects our self-esteem. And if we are around the wrong people, they can really take our self-esteem into a place that takes us too long and too hard to work out of it. If you haven't taken your personality assessment, please take it. Please take it. Inbox us. We will give you the instructions for it. We will set up an evening to spend 30 minutes at least to talk about any of the tough parts with you. We're going to spend a session on here, an hour. You can make an appointment with me starting in February through the rest of the year, and we could talk about your personality assessment. I would probably figure 2 appointments with that. Yes, baby. And if I have been questioning who I am and what I'm doing, and if I should be doing it at a greater level, my own personality showed me that I have no reason to question that anymore. Because of my personality type, I'm not going to sit there and do all that. But I know I've got a Dominique, and I know that I have a Corindus, and I know that I have a Tanya Daly that I could send people to that need that. But I can enjoy the lane that I'm in. Do you see how all things work together for the good of them that love the Lord? Do you see it? All things, all of us work together for the good of them that love the Lord, that are in Christ Jesus. Do you see how it works? This is powerful. Yes, Devon, you got to have it. Inbox me. Please, Devon. I don't want to let you go this time while I got you on here. Come on, Carlin. Your journey is yours. And who is anyone to tell you anything different than God? People who weren't there when God gave you the vision or the instructions are always going to be the ones to question you. Eve wasn't there when God gave it to Adam, and Satan wasn't there when the whole thing went down. So that's why he was able to cause doubt. He was able to cause Eve to question what God really said, because they weren't there when the vision was given. You know what God said to you. You know what God showed you. Work within the lane that God has given you, and you shall prosper and be in good health, even as your soul prosper. If he calls you to go get a doctorate, get it. If he calls you to be a licensed practicing, go and get it. If he called you to be a mental health coach, go and get it. Work within the lanes that he's given you. He will cause you to prosper and be in good health, even as your soul prospers, if you are in the right lane that he's given you. He will extend the pent legs. He will enlarge your territory, Jabaz. Just get in the lane that he's called you to walk in, and don't let the pressures of this world or the insecurities that you feel within yourself cause you to think you need something higher than what you really need. And don't stay beneath if he's called you above either. I can talk to you too. Don't just settle for it. The people that you need to minister to, and you need to treat, or you need to have as a client, that you need to coach into the forward movement of their life. That's what coaching is all about. You need to get as much information, education, instruction, and anointing, if possible, on your life to help those that he's sending to you. Because after all, this is all about spinning his globe for him, making things happen for him, making sure that all things work together for the good of them that love the Lord. Come on, am I talking tonight or what? Come on. We know who God has called us to be. And every once in a while, I have to understand. And isn't it amazing that I wrote the book on self-esteem? I'm calling it the book, but it's just a book of many. But I wrote the book on self-esteem. It makes total sense now that that's a place that I'm going to struggle in because of this change and adventure that has to happen. And sometimes in life, that's just not going to way it's going to work out. The people you're with may not be changing and adventurous, open-minded people. So I may feel sometimes that I'm boxed in and constrained within the confines of somebody else's personality type versus my personality type. And I have to watch for these dings to come against my armor of my esteemed self. Are y'all with me? Come on. Aisha, she said, preach, apostle. Yes, come on. My God, teach, says Devana. Get in the lane. Just get in the lane. I've got Dr. Vanessa. I don't need to go. And the connection that we have. Pastor D quoted something today on Facebook. And she, I wish I could remember it, but go look at Pastor D's page on Facebook, Dolores Davis. And she made a Soul Detox comment regarding physical health. And she was quoting Vanessa, Dr. Vanessa. She was quoting Dr. Vanessa. And I said, isn't it beautiful how all of our work merges together? And if we all would stay in our lane, how wonderful it would be. This is what she wrote. live out purpose in health. Now, you know, I've been teaching on purpose. I teach on the soul. Dr. Vanessa is a doctor according to the American higher education systems. And she teaches on health, and we both teach on purpose, and we teach on the soul. And it was just beautiful how Dr. Vanessa brought together what I do and what she does, which shows you that all of us can work together for the good of them that are in Christ Jesus, that are called according to his purpose. Come on, what translation you want to quote, doesn't matter. You know what I'm talking about. Live out purpose in health. I see Soul Detox and Kingdom Health Connections all in one sync right there in that one statement, that one line, live out purpose in health. Dr. Vanessa Bolin. That's powerful. There's so much work for us out here to do. When I get phone calls from people and they say, I want to be a mental health coach, I don't be like, this is only for me. I'm going to be the only one that's going to be looked up by everyone. No, we're taught in coaching training. We need help. The first place that people go to, the highest percentage, statistics have shown, the number one place, the highest in percentage, place that people go to first with mental health issues before a doctor or any kind of therapeutic office, even before they go to coaching, is the church. The church. And this is why this organization, the American Association of Christian Counselors, inboxed me and asked me if I would be willing to become a board certified mental health coach, because they're trying to find a way to bridge the church and mental health together. Because statistically, research has proven that the first place, the highest number of people with mental health issues visit is not the hospital, not a doctor's office, not a therapeutic office, not even a mental health coach office. It's the church. So how many people have come to the church that we could have helped, but we haven't, because we're so spirit-minded, so heaven-bound, we've been no earthly, no soulish, no soulful good for anybody. Speak in tongues, it'll go away. Oh, you're not healed because you don't have enough faith. You got demons because of what you watch. You got demons because of what you listen to. You have demons because you're not tithing. You have demons because it's in the family. You have homosexual tendencies because of this. I mean, I told my client in my office today, the one that I explained about how her mind was making up images. I told her, I said, if you were in a, oh God, help me, Lord. I don't know if I can even say that on here. I know I can with y'all, but who knows, some of the viewers are. Just understand this. She could have easily been diagnosed as bipolar. She could have been easily diagnosed as bipolar because of the explanation of what she had. And that's why a therapist who has a spiritual Christian background is going to be the best asset if you want to go in and see a therapist and start taking therapy and join therapy sessions this year. I recommend it. But they can give you a diagnosis by, I'm seeing phantom images in my living room. Something's touching me even right now. They're going to, if not schizophrenic, they're definitely going to call her bipolar. And just like that, the truth shall set you free. My. Well, again, I hope you got something out of that, because that was my day, and what a powerful day. I've had, I forget how many, 6 clients, I think, today, and those 2 are the only ones that I have time to tell you about. Thank you. Thank you so much, Ebony. Beautiful. All right, let me give you an update from our coaches, and then we'll get in our lesson, and we'll be done. Quick update. Pastor Ron has now been set up with his client coaching list, and he will be responding to questions or comments or personality profiles that have been assigned to him. So some of you, especially notably the men, will be hearing from him with how he can assist you with soul detox and with personality assessment, clarification, understanding, and just a little more breakdown for you. At this point, everyone has been assigned a coach, and all assessments have been added to folders. So I want to make sure I give you that update tonight. Everyone has been assigned a coach and all assessments have been added to their folders. If you are struggling with this, you need to inbox your coach's email. I'm going to post it up there for a minute right now. You need to email these coaches. Devon, get this solution coaches at Gmail. Write that down. Inbox them. Reverend Pastor Ron Bonner is going to be a great benefit for your life. And I would actually like to instigate a mentorship relationship between you two. I think he might be the answer that you've been searching for in the earth. You already got it in the spirit and in the heaven, in the earth, to help you to that next place you need to go. And for those who have been sending in their assignments for the coaches to review, those will be added to the folders as well. And emails will be going out tonight to those groups to update you on who your coach is if you are new. Amen. Living out purpose in health. That's what I'm talking about. She's in her lane, I'm in my lane, and how we mesh together. Some of the followers here on So Detox have wanted to go and get their health to prosper, because we want to prosper. So we have financial people and be in good health. We have health people, even as your soul prospers. So we have soul people. And the soul is therapy, coaching, spirituality, because it's your mind, your soul, your will, your emotions. It's all of that. Your mind, your spirit, your emotions is what I wanted to say. So in covering that, 3 John, that whole scripture in 3 John right there, that's a whole plethora of mental health, physical health, and financial health. And we've got this right here online. We've got financial coaches here online right now. Where you at? Give a shout out because people want to contact you. We have physical doctors, like doctors that you can take through your insurance. They're on here right now. Let people know so they can follow your page, Dr. Vanessa, and find out how we can live in good health. And then we have people, I know Tanya Daly says she's not on at night, but she replays during the day. Dr. Tanya Daly, she is a doctor in, I believe, social work. And again, we have my sweetie, Dominique, and she's in her master's program now, and she's going all the way to her doctor to have her practice in office. And we have Minister Corindus on here, and if she's not in her doctorate program, she's in her master's as well, and she's completing hers, and she's going all the way to receive her doctorate in psychology. So we've got the team here. We have the team here. Let's get the work done. Let all things work together for the good of them. It is amazing, and it's beautiful in His sight. Know your lane. Stay in your lane. Don't let anyone talk you out of your calling and your purpose. Don't let anyone tell you that you need to do this or you need to do that. Don't let anyone try to convince you of anything else. Get an advisor, a mentor, someone who can speak into your life, keep you focused on focus, keep you purposed in purpose, so you're not all over the place. All right. Let me jump into this. Let's rehash for a moment. How are you doing with your physical triggers? Physical triggers. We talked on last night. Just briefly, I want to just go over this again. Sometimes when you're thinking, it comes with a physical response that other people may or may not notice. The next time you feel a physical response to a conversation, the next time you feel a physical response to a hesitation, the next time you feel a physical response to a imagination, the next time you feel a physical response to an emotion that is triggered by hesitation, thinking, conversation, take a couple minutes to think where in your body you feel the response. Do the feelings present in your facial expressions, your heart rate, your throat, your voice, your chest, in your neck, or somewhere else? Have you been able to pay attention to any physical triggers in your body? Any physical triggers in your body? Anyone? I'm helping you to be aware, so of course I'm going to bring this up again. Good. Take a note. And also take a note. What was the conversation? What was the thought? What was the imagination? What was going on when you had that physical response? Talk about it with your coach. Let's talk about it together. We talked about how important emotions are, the most powerful factor in how we interact with others. We talked about people with a high level of emotional intelligence and how they can recognize and accept their varying, their changing emotional states. Knowing what emotional state you are in can go a long way towards enhancing your professional, spiritual, personal relationships. If you fail to recognize these responses, you will find it difficult to process your emotions and move past them. By effectively managing these elements, you will be able to control emotional outbursts and work towards a much more effective communication and overall healthier, happier demeaning. Good, good, good. I'm glad you're writing it down here. Write it in your journal. Write it in your notebooks. And also don't leave out the important part. What triggered it? What was the thought? Imagination? What was the conversation? What was the hesitation? So that we can begin to, one, be self-aware, but two, get you to change the channel because it's connected to a belief. There's some belief that you have in you that when that conversation comes up, it triggers that emotion, it brings about that response. Okay? All right, let's talk about this tonight. We've got a good 7, I might could get 17 minutes and maybe even less we can have this done. Because I haven't been able to get on right at 8 o'clock. So we've been trying to really hit an hour by finishing up by 10 after 9. All right. The highest work you'll do in life is not in an office or occupation, but within yourself. What do you think about that? If you really value your job, if you really value your occupation and your career, I honor you for that. Thank you for your integrity. But let me challenge that thinking tonight by repeating this statement again. The highest work you'll do in life is not in an office or occupation, but within yourself. I personally do not do this internal research to understand my position in the world, to compare myself to others. I do it because I find knowledge and self-development to be incredibly enriching. And it goes with my personality type. Unlike most things in life, your self-awareness is something that never stops growing until your life is over. Let me read that again. Unlike most things in life, your self-awareness is something that never stops growing until your life is over. As you age, you come to understand life to a deeper degree as your own mortality sets in, and you walk closer to your terrestrial sunset. Things get a little more important and less important as you get older. The beauty of evolving internally is that it transcends class, money, career, and even station in life. Everyone and anyone can become more evolved and aware. Everyone is given the opportunity at birth to do so, which is extraordinarily beautiful and such a wonderful gift. Let me bring this screen over here so that I can read your comments while I'm talking. Okay. One thing you should understand is you don't have to spend your time in a monastery sitting cross-legged to become more self-aware. All you have to do is want to become more self-aware, and that is where the help begins. That is where health begins. All right, listen. This is going to be good. The distance between 2 points in life is determined by your discipline. The distance between 2 points in life, where you are now and where you want to be. Mirror, mirror on the wall, and your ideal self. The distance between 2 points in life is determined by your discipline. Your discipline to get there. The time it takes for you to do anything in life is all about how focused you are on the outcome. Did you hear that? That's some powerful statements right there. How focused you are on the outcome. That's good. Kamisha, you typing fast tonight. And this is so true. When you go back and replay this, just write that line down. Put it somewhere on a post-it note or, somewhere in a text message to yourself. Put it somewhere because it's powerful. The distance between where you are and where you want to go is connected by discipline. How focused you are on the outcome. You can finish college in 3 years if you want to, but you may make choices that keep you from graduation. Have you seen that before? People got almost up to the end and they stopped. Professional athletes are in their position because they put effort into the discipline it took to get there. Lindsey Vonn was the last skier on the little mountain that she grew up on in Wisconsin. Every night she skied 12 to 14 hours a day. Now she's considered the best skier of all time. Discipline. Venus, Serena Williams. Did you just watch their documentary documentary on TV? Discipline. You might wonder, what does that have to do with self-awareness? I'm so glad you asked, because I'm going to tell you. Someone with great discipline has immense power of the mind. Immense power of the mind. Staying hyper-focused on the task at hand takes control of one's body and mind. It also takes tremendous belief in your abilities to succeed at that moment. Doing all of this requires a great deal of self-awareness into who you are and what you are made of internally. Good. I like that, Pastor Vel. I'm going to share your testimony. That's good. You better believe it does. That's the distance between you and what it is that you want to do, what it is you want to achieve, what it is you believe God called you to do. Passion. Passion. Let's talk about that word tonight. Passion is love. Passion is love. When you live your passion, you are living your truth as your highest self, made in the image and likeness of your creator, God. That just tastes so good right there. Let me just read that again. Passion is love. When you live your passion, you are living your truth as your highest self, made in the image and likeness of our creator, God. Often we think that our passion has to be extraordinary station in life. We must attain at all costs. Guess what? Let that notion go, because this comes from a place of comparison, which is robbing you of passion and happiness. You are a unique and ever-changing person who is continually shifting and growing. Your passions will change as you go through the phases of your life. None of the 5 characteristics are beyond any of us. This isn't an exclusive club that comes with a black and white or diamond logo card. You, me, and everyone we know can become higher functioning, self-aware human beings. If you want to start practicing these characteristics that we just talked about, we named 2. Take a step back away from your life, just for a few minutes. Get a piece of paper and jot down your thoughts on each one. How am I humble? What do I practice discipline with? What is my passion? What does integrity mean to me? What am I grateful for? Remember, the rate at which you evolve your self-awareness is up to you. Remember, the rate at which you evolve your self-awareness is up to you. Life isn't a dress rehearsal, and every day is a chance to explore the borders of your internal landscape. How far those borders grow comes down to how much broader you hope to make your self-awareness footprint. Let me post this so I can help you out. And then I'm going to reread that last part again. It's coming. There it is. Let me post it over here for you. These are the 5 characteristics that you want in your life that will take you very far in your life. There's 5. I spoke deeply on 2 of them. I spoke on discipline. The others I spoke about on other nights. But tonight I spoke on discipline and I spoke on passion. Discipline and passion. But these are the great qualities of someone who's self-aware. Why wouldn't you want to continue this work? Why are you going to stop on February 1st? Why have you given up tonight? Why is only 107 of us in here tonight when 300 and something of us registered? I know a lot of people are on replay because they're at work and school, but I want you to think. I want you to think. That's my job, to trigger you to think. The highest work you'll do in life is not in an office or occupation, but within yourself. If you want to start practicing these characteristics that I spoke about tonight, here's your soul work. Take a step back away from your life just for a few minutes tonight as we end this broadcast. Get a piece of paper out. Get your journey, your journal, your group therapy work. And I want you to jot down your thoughts on each one of these. How am I humble? What do I practice discipline with? What is my passion? What does integrity mean to me? What am I grateful for? And remember this as we close down tonight. The rate at which you evolve your self-awareness is up to you. Life isn't a dress rehearsal, and every day is a chance to explore the borders of your internal landscape. How far those borders grow comes down to how much broader you hope to make your self-awareness footprint. I'm done for tonight. I hope you have them written down. If not, we have #replay. I enjoyed our time together. I want to thank you for all those who give by Cash App. I want to thank you for those who share testimonies, those who encourage. I want to thank you for everyone who has subscribed on YouTube, everyone who's wrote a review on Apple, iTunes, and all the other platforms. I want to thank you for those who inbox testimonies. They encourage us. Those who write in thank yous. I mean, I get thank yous every day with a reason why they're thankful. That encourages our work. Because you can imagine the gates of hell would love to come against this. So your encouragement and your support helps us in every way that you're able to support us. Thank you for that. Every person that you've shared us with, thank you for that. Every time you hit like, if you haven't done so, please do so. Thank you for that. I cannot do this without you. I don't have purpose without you. That's an interesting factor. All things work together. Remember that tonight. Do your soul work. I'll talk to you tomorrow night, same time, same station. God bless you. I wish above all things that you prosper and be in good health, even as your soul prospers. I'll have this on the screen again for a few more minutes after we disconnect. God bless you.
Let it